2008 was very interesting for Kyle Busch. He was on top of the world winning. It seemed like every week Busch had the fastest car and could do whatever he wanted on the racetrack. But when somebody finally put him to the test and Carl Edwards was able to move him at Bristol and pick up the win, Busch did not like that. When he was at Joe Gibbs Racing in his early years, he hated losing, and he hated losing when he was moved out of the way. So he took his anger out on Carl Edwards after the 2008 night race at Bristol and had a post-race altercation after the checkered flag.
Good job today. Awesome day.
Carl Edwards mathematically locked in.
Getting a little nudge here from Kyle Busch. I don't know what's going on there.
They're pushing and shoving a little bit over there.
I don't know what that was all about.
Now the 18's going to try to run him down.
Well, that would have been the little...
Here's the pass.
Just a little nudge getting in the corner. And Kyle Busch comes back. You got to expect that. I mean, it comes down to the end of the race. You got to expect that he pays him back right there. Gives Carl a little nudge, but can't get back by. Just frustrated he led so much of the race and lost it.
Now here's the post race.
They're still.
Let's go down to Jamie Little.
Well, Bob Osborne's watching the replay.
Before the checkered flag, and Robbie
What are they doing here?
gets in the back of Junior.
What happened was the 31 car raced the 8 car all those last few laps there and held him up. And Dale Jr. got into him back here coming down pit road. Then Robbie just turned him around.
Checkered flag at Bristol. Whammo. Last year it was Jeff Gordon and Tony Stewart.
Hey, Rob, man, you tear shit up.
This year it's Robbie Gordon and Earnhardt Jr. Yesterday it was everybody.
But you heard the spotter right there, and I'm going to put my crew chief hat on. I don't like that because there's a fabricator back at that shop now has to fix that race car.
Problem down here, little altercation with Dale Earnhardt Jr. and a couple of other folks. Dale, what's cooking?
Damn 31 wouldn't get out of the way. Lap down, racing the leaders with 10 laps to go, but that's why it takes 3 or 4 times for him to finally get into the West Cup Series because he don't pay attention, he don't know what he's doing.
Wow, second fight in 2 days down here on pit road.
In the closing laps of the 2002 Bristol race, Dale Jr. was being held up by Robbie Gordon, who was a lap down. Jr. was racing for position on the racetrack with other competitors where he could have gained a couple positions and gained some points. But Robbie Gordon was holding Dale Jr. up, and he was extremely frustrated with Gordon. He decided after the race that he was going to wreck him on pit road, and then a little altercation broke out between Dale Jr., Robbie Gordon, and his pit crew. Brad Keselowski and Kyle Busch definitely don't like each other. It's no secret that these two drivers despise each other, and after the 2021 Martinsville race, Keselowski just intentionally crashed Kyle Busch. It was kind of wild. After the 2013 race at Martinsville, Kevin Harvick, Danica Patrick, and Brian Vickers had a post-race altercation on the cool-down lap. On the final lap, Danica Patrick was ahead of Brian Vickers until Vickers just sent it in on Patrick, sending her up the racetrack. Once the race was completed, Kevin Harvick was behind both of them. He did not like what Vickers did, and he intentionally spun Vickers out to show how wrongfully Vickers drove to Danica Patrick.
Here's a look at it.
Whoa. Well, these guys were getting, and gals were getting very aggressive.
Well, and Harvick and Kenseth, they had fresh tires.
Now watch this. I think I see where yeah. Harv said, hey, bud, save me a little room next to
They're racing for the 11th spot. Harvick got 13th. Danica's on the outside, and evidently Harvick did not like the way that Vickers raced Danica. So when they got to the checker flag and passed it, he just spun him out to show him that he didn't appreciate that.
Afterwards, even after that.
Yeah. Well, that's part of it. Short track racing. We talked about emotion. We talked about blocking and bumping.
They were so well behaved all afternoon.
And, you know, I tried to guard the inside right there at the end, and Vickers gave me a bump. And, you know, I get it. I mean, I was trying to defend and hold my position. So we still came away with a 12th place finish. So, you know, it was good to do that for GoDaddy. Obviously, Hendrick Endurance was very strong today. I felt like I made a lot of passes. So,
Ryan Newman and Clint Boyer got into it after the 2019 All-Star race. Boyer and Newman would make contact on the racetrack, which would upset each other. After the race in the cool-down lap, Ryan Newman would crash Clint Boyer, something you don't really see other competitors do, but Ryan Newman was pretty upset with Clint Boyer. So Clint Boyer got out of his race car and ran over to Ryan Newman's car when he was still buckled in the race car. He started throwing punches left and right, and Newman got out of his race car, and then Bowyer kind of ran off, and then officials got involved, and the fight had to be broken up. But this was still one of the most wildest things to ever see, two drivers going at it after the race, after an all-star race. This is something you don't see as often as you would think for $1 million.
Brian Newman and Clint Bowyer. This is on the cool-down lap after the checkered flag.
Wow. Well, obviously something took place before all this.
Bam.
But Bowyer not
Look at
happy
Bowyer
at all.
Look like a machine. Which way did he go? Where is he? That car. They just took a heck of a beating.
Bowyer and Newman going at it.
Well, we'll show you why.
Wow.
And what happened after the checkered flag between these two.
This is fun.
This is the all-star race.
I love it. All right.
Wow.
And unlike other all-star games, these fellas have to race each other every week of the season. And Harvick and Logano taking their frustrations out in sheet metal as they come to pit road. And now there'll be a discussion.
You notice that Harvick hadn't taken his helmet off.
No, but I like that the crew members, while standing guard, they're content to let the two drivers talk it out.
Following the completion of the very first race in 2015 for the Sprint Unlimited, which was the Clash, Kevin Harvick and Joey Logano were begging doors onto pit road. Harvick felt he was wronged by Logano with a couple laps to go, and Logano just pushed him in the wall. Harvick let his temper get the best of him, and after the race, he got onto pit road, got out of his car, and started yelling at Joey Logano. This broke out into a little altercation, but probably the wildest thing was when Harvick drove off of the track to hit Logano after the race. After Sam Mayer took the checkered flag in the 2023 Road America race, the NASCAR Xfinity Series, he was ready to do some celebratory burnouts. He kind of overshot the corner to do a celebration burnout where most drivers do, so I assumed he was going to go somewhere else, and as he did that, he drove into the sand. But these NASCAR Xfinity cars are so low to the ground that he damaged the left front of his race car and destroyed it after hitting the asphalt when he came back up on the racetrack. The 2014 chase was just pure chaos. It had multiple altercations, but none will be as big as the 2014 Charlotte race. It involved so many drivers. On the cool-down lap, Brad Keselowski attempted to wreck Denny Hamlin. Failed at doing that, so what did he do next? Then he went after Matt Kenseth and doored him as they were entering pit road when Matt Kenseth had his seatbelts on. Tony Stewart, the veteran of the NASCAR Cup Series, did not want to be in any part of this, and he was extremely upset with Brad Keselowski, so he threw his car in reverse and smashed in Keselowski's nose. Then an altercation broke out in the garage area, and this race was just pure chaos.
Now on the cool-down lap.
Yeah, I can understand them a little bit. They were having some contact at the end of the race, but not sure about some of this other stuff.
I didn't see a whole lot that Denny Hamlin did wrong in that, in trying to race in that scenario there.
Then Keselowski and Kenseth, with Keselowski running into Tony Stewart. Now as the cars stack up at the entrance to the pit road, that's the hit Matt Kenseth was talking about. And while doing that, Keselowski runs into the back of Tony Stewart, so then this. From Tony Stewart's bumper camera.
And that's where all the front end damage came from. So
at the on
that point will put Martin Truex Jr. back inside the championship 4.
Now Truex has to hold the 1 off and the 43 off, the 1 back to his rear bumper as the 48 continues to try to take the lead from the 11. Oh! The 11 around!
The 11 goes around and the caution will come out. A restart.
When battling for the win at Martinsville in 2021, Denny Hamlin was trying to make the championship 4. He was racing against Alex Bowman, who was currently out of the playoffs. He had already been eliminated in previous rounds, and Hamlin just wanted a clean finish, but unfortunately for Hamlin, he wouldn't get that, as Alex Bowman would overdrive turn number 3 get into Hamlin. Hamlin would spin up the racetrack and lose all his positions and almost be eliminated from the championship. Denny Hamlin was furious with Alex Bowman, and after the race, he went after him when Alex Bowman was celebrating doing his burnout.
How about Alex?
And this is going to get interesting.
Oh, boy.
Denny Hamlin not happy with the way Bowman raced him.
Hard, Denny. Big, hard. Big picture here. Big picture.
Maybe words of wisdom coming through the radio for Denny Hamlin.
I know he's frustrated.
The 2011 season was very interesting for Kevin Harvick and Kyle Busch. Both drivers were extremely established in the NASCAR Cup Series and had similar careers. Neither one of them had a championship, but they have come close so many times. They have a ton of victories, and they're very tempered. And this is what happened at Darlington when Kyle Busch intentionally crashed Kevin Harvick with a couple laps to go after Clint Boyer spun out. After the race, Kevin Harvick would chase Kyle Busch around the racetrack until they made it to pit road. And once they made it to pit road, he got out of his race car, walked over to Kyle Busch, but Kyle Busch did not want to have an altercation with Kevin Harvick. He hit the gas and pushed Kevin Harvick's car into the pit road wall. Unbelievable.
Hard wreck.
He stays out.
More wrecks down here, turn 4, big wreck.
Harvick in trouble.
Keep going. Keep going. We can do the damn thing.
3 of the 4 Childress cars in trouble in the closing laps.
Get 4 tires.
That's his number 18 against Harvick.
Well, you can see already the left front of Harvick's tire where they made contact. The whole left side, and here comes Kevin back. Whoa. Gives the 18 a big shot in the rear.
Boyer takes a wild ride into the safer barrier, and Kyle Busch turned Harvick around after they had made contact half a lap before.
Yeah, I think there's something not quite right about that. I'd have to look at that another time or two.
The sprint all-star race.
And Harvick and Busch.
He's after him.
Yeah, this has just started now.
Kyle says, you gotta have to. This ain't gonna happen too good.
There was a pass, there was contact, and then as Boyer went into the fence, Kyle Busch came and turned Kevin Harvick around.
We know Harvick is he plays rough, especially when the race is over with. I've seen him climb over people's cars to get to him.
We've got cars overheated. We've got drivers overheated.
And we got wrecked cars. And
Bobby Labonte crashed on the final lap. Harvick looking in his mirror. Shuts the switches off.
Something's going to have to give here, boys.
We thought it could be Newman and Montoya. Turns out it's Harvick and Busch. And they are still stopped way up at the turn 4 end of pit road as Regan Smith does his victory lap. And Harvick's going to put the steering wheel back on.
I think Harvick was getting ready to hop out of that thing. I think somebody must have gotten to him. No,
wheels off again. Here he comes.
He says, okay, this is enough. I'm going back here and we're going to have a little talk. And there goes his car. That car just took off.
If you've enjoyed this video, please hit the like and subscribe button down below. Also, if you've liked this video, I'm pretty sure these videos will catch your eye also.